All right, so how does this dynamic grid thing actually work? For this demo, we're going to stick with the root rectangles. Say you're designing a complex multi-page document, and you're going to have many spreads in this document. And so you have to figure out how you're going to lay this all out. So what you do is you find a spread that's got, a reasonable amount of content, and you then lay everything out and just throw it out there. You start to lay it out intuitively. You decide, well, what shape is going to make the perimeter? And in this case here, I decided that it would be a root 2 rectangle. And that is what's known as a parent shape. Okay, so that's my perimeter. I can't go outside of that. And then I have to look at my design and I go, well, how could I divide that shape? Could I divide it vertically or could I divide it horizontally? So in my case here, I decided I was going to divide it vertically, and I chose a square as my second shape, which is now my primary rectangle. So I have a parent shape and a primary rectangle. So you go back to your root rectangles, and we decided that a root 2 rectangle was going to be our parent shape, and a square was going to be our primary rectangle. We have the diagonal of the parent shape, and you have the same diagonal here, okay? These are what's known as primary diagonals, okay? You also have the primary diagonals of the primary rectangle, okay? So we have these diagonals. And you have the remaining space that's left over, but these are the first things that you want to do. Okay, these are all your primary diagonals. You can start by pulling things out, right? This is a very strong first generation division. Right here, the diagonals are not actually part of the structure. They're only construction diagonals. But once your grid is built, the diagonals go away. Then you want to bring in your verticals. Okay, so we have a primary right here. So that's a first gen, very powerful first gen vertical division. We have another one right here, and then you got this one there. Notice they are both the same there and there. We have one here, we have one here, and we have one here. Okay, so I got one here. Notice it hits all of these diagonals. And this is how the harmonic symmetry starts to work. You start to see that all these diagonals end up creating modules that are really cool. That is the way you build a dynamic grid. I mean, you could certainly just throw this grid out onto your design and you could make it work. So that is a possibility.